Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, my YouTube channel, Myra Lorraine. Thank you all for stopping by to watch my videos. You know I really appreciate it, and I seriously do. That's why I try very hard to answer each and every one of your comments. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And I'm Myra. So with that out of the way, now let's get started with this video. I really wanted to chat with you guys about something that's near and dear to my heart, and that's recreating inspired looks. I do that pretty often on my channel, and I enjoy doing that. It's like challenging myself to make something happen. So that's one of the reasons why, and I like doing it. So this particular look came from a magazine's website. I no longer get the two magazines one of them I do, and the other I don't since I moved. Venus, I still get their magazines occasionally, and I go out to their website too to get inspirations. And there was a young lady who actually commented on my previous video, on one of my previous video about inspired look. I couldn't figure out where I had cut the photo out because it had been on my inspiration board for a while, and she mentioned she saw it on Venus, and she's absolutely correct. That's where it came from. I should have known it was one of the two because those are the only ones that I actually get. But I also get looks from, and thank you for that. Anyway, it was correct. And I also get inspirations from Pinterest. I mean, I get inspirations from everywhere. Like I mentioned before, I even take pictures on TV. It just depends on what I'm looking for. I'm always looking when it comes to fashion. So this particular look, and I'll pop up a picture of it. I believe it was from the Boston Proper website. When I was looking, I snapshotted the picture because as soon as I laid eyes on it, I fell in love with it. I loved everything about this particular top. The neckline, gorgeous, the twist in the front, the length of it, the fur, cuffs, everything. I absolutely loved it. But those of you who know me know that I want to change that neckline to a V-neck. Not because anything's wrong with that neckline. That neckline is gorgeous on there. And who knows, maybe one day I might make it with that neckline style. But for this particular one, I wanted some specifics. One of those was a V neckline. The other one was I wanted to make it a little bit heavier because I wanted to inspire some of you individuals who are living in a colder climate, and winter is coming. So this is kind of a winter is coming sweater. If you saw that on my Instagram post, winter is coming, that's about this sweater right here. And so I wanted to do that, and of course I wanted to include those faux fur cuffs. So the other thing about this that I wanted to do was to change up the color. I didn't want it exactly the same as this. This one looks like it's a, although this is gorgeous, I would love to have this particular one in that color and that same faux fur too, but for this I wanted something a little different. This one here looks like it's a rayon jersey knit, and I believe that's what it said on the website. So it's a lighter knit. But I wanted something a little bit heavier, and I was successful in doing that. So let's talk about the fabric. The fabric I did find at Joann Fabrics, and I'm gonna pull it over so you can see it. This is the fabric. Let's get it close so you can get a better look at it there. Okay, it is a navy ponte knit, and it's a heavier ponte knit. It has light pastel gray flecks in it. They're not white. They look like they're actually gray. And I absolutely love this fabric. Like I mentioned, it is a heavier weight ponte knit, but it sews up so magnificently. I didn't have any issues with anything in sewing this up. Now, let me talk about the pattern. I have to tell you about this pattern because with the inspired look, I wanted it to look identical to that. And there are a lot of twist top patterns out there. But I went back to my stash for this one because I knew I had made this particular pattern about 7 years ago, I believe it was. And I loved it, and I thought in my head it would be identical for this particular look. So I'll pop up the pattern here. It is called the Style Arc Dee pattern. And if you can look at that pattern, they have they have a couple of versions here. They have a cap sleeve version, and then they have the long sleeve. Well, if you look at that long sleeve, it is identical, and I do mean identical, to the look of the inspired look. The only thing it doesn't have is the faux fur cuffs, and it is a little bit shorter. If you look at the model on this particular pattern envelope, it looks like it's just hitting her below her waist, and I wanted it a little bit longer than that. I wanted it to look like this inspired look. It hits her well below her waist, almost past her hips, but it's just right at the hip, I believe. That's the way I wanted mine. So that actually takes me to change number 2 for the Style Arc pattern. Number 1 was the V-neck. I changed the V-neck. And that was really super easy to do. It was so easy to do that I actually cut the pattern out on my fashion fabric, and then I made the change to this V-neck front. I didn't do much to the back at all. All I had to do was change the front, so it made it super easy for me to do. And then, as I said, change number 2 was I lengthened the actual pattern, both the front and the back pieces, by 2.5 inches, which was perfect for me. That was more than enough of length. So those were the 2 physical changes to the pattern that I made to make the inspired look I wanted. Now, everything else went together beautifully, and I have to tell you that Style Arc pattern is really, this one is really easy to do. You can put this together. Actually, I put this together. It took me a little bit longer. It took me about, I'm guessing 4 to 5 hours, and that's because of my little bit of a struggle with the faux fur cuffs, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But other than that, I believe that this particular pattern would be a beginner-friendly pattern because it's really easy. The only thing that may trip you up would be that tie front, the twist front, because if you've not had experience with that, some people might get a little confused, but Style Arc does pretty good in showing you exactly what to do with that pattern. So, but other than that, I think you could get this top together without the faux fur cuffs in about maybe 3-4, take that back, maybe about, I'm guessing 2 to 3 hours, and that's from cut to finish. So it's really super easy. So let me show you what it looks like now. I'm gonna bring it back here so you can get a better look at it. Now I love this. The twist front, let me see if I can zoom in here for you. I always get a little twist up when I'm trying to show you guys this, but I want to get in here close so you can get a better look at it. The twist front turned out really, really nice. It has no problem getting together. It actually looks really, really good. Both the front and the back is just straight. It's just a straight knit. No seams in the back whatsoever. And you can see how nicely that V-neck went in. There were no issues. It lays nice and flat. It's very, very beautiful the way it went in. Now here is the issue. These are my faux fur cuffs. Got this fabric from Joann as well. Love, love, love this fabric. Now let me bring you back up so I can talk to you about that faux fur. I don't want to talk to you about it when my head is way down there. But these faux fur, this faux fur I got at Joann Fabrics, and both fabrics I got there at Joann's recently, so you should still be able to get them. Now this faux fur, I just fell in love with. It's so minky soft. Oh my gosh, it's really, really beautiful. It doesn't have a very high pile or nap. I'm guessing maybe about 1/2 inch, but it is beautiful. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. It's a brown, and I'm not sure if it's like that ivory tips on it, but it's gorgeous and just as soft. And you'll notice that it looks like it has some lines across here, but it actually has some stretch in it. And it's because those lines are actually elasticated threads that were put in by the manufacturer. The back side of this you can't see because I actually doubled it, and that's where my struggle came in, because I wanted the inside to look just like the outside. So trying to attach this cuff to this tiny, 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 tiny area was the struggle for me and my machine. But as you see, let me turn it in so you can see that. I got it in and was able to serge it as well. So, but that was a struggle for me because I didn't want to mess this up. I wanted it to get in there, and I took my time and made it work, and it did. Didn't break any needles or anything like that. It actually worked. But it turned out so gorgeous. Now, excuse me, my first thought to pair this with a matching pencil skirt. But I don't usually dress up that much with this. And so I wanted it a little more casual, so I decided I wanted to do my usual and go with leggings. But I didn't want to do black leggings. Again, I do black leggings all the time, so I wanted something different. So I called in my professional, my husband. And I told him, I said, I'm looking at this and I just don't know what to do. And he gave me a couple of options, which he was absolutely correct. The first one he said was brown. And I said, brown? I said, I'm not sure, where'd you get brown from? He said, look at the cuffs. He's right. Inside, the tips are like a silvery type, but underneath there is a brown. Brown would go awesome with this navy. He was so right. And I probably will make a pair of brown leggings to go with this, but that's not what I did. I went with his second choice. Then his second choice was a charcoal gray. He said because he saw the light gray flecks in here and he thought the light gray would clash with this like ivory, kind of silvery, if it wasn't just right, the right match. So he said a charcoal gray might really be nice. So I pulled a piece, I have a scrap piece of a charcoal gray performance knit, and I put it up against it, but it was heathered with white in it. And while it had the heathered in it, I loved the look of the charcoal with it. It did something to me, so I really liked it. So off to Joann I went to look for something, and doggone it, that Joann's gets you every time. When you know, they had something there. And oh my gosh, I had to wait. Let me tell you, I had to wait. It was 15 minutes in the cutting line, and then another 15 minutes in a line that wrapped all the way back to the cutting section to wait to pay for my fabric. Oh my gosh, that was the first time I've ever had to do something like that. But anyways, I got this. Let me just show you, I have it here, for my leggings. I got the exact same fabric in charcoal gray with the same light gray flecks on it. Hopefully you can see that, it'll focus. There it is. Yes, so I made, and my leggings aren't anything special. They're just a pair of leggings from my favorite TNT Quick Sew 3770. But I love this. And as you can see, it goes nicely with that. Oh my gosh, I love the two together. So he was right about that, the charcoal gray, and I am going to make a pair of brown leggings because I think that would look cute with this as well. But I'm going to start showing you some pictures of me in this because I am super in love with this sweater. And if you guys are in a colder climate and you're thinking about going to an event that you could put leggings, you could put slacks with this, a pair of palazzos and navy would go really nice with this. A pencil skirt, as I mentioned before, would go with this. A plain navy one, or even, you know, a brown one would go nicely. You could do whatever you like with this. But if you were in a colder climate and you wanted something that was a little fancy but not over the top, I think this sweater would do very nicely, very, very nicely. So you're seeing the pictures of me. I hope you're enjoying those. I am super excited about this. I love it. It turned out exactly the way I wanted. And I hope you enjoy and were inspired by this video as well. So that's it, you guys. If you have any questions for me, as usual, please leave them down in the comment section below so I can get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget on your way out to thumbs up, comment below, and subscribe, and I sure hope you do. I'll see you in the next video. Bye now, and happy sewing.